All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're digging into this incredible story. It's a fable, really, one that uses a bit of history and a lot of imagination to ask a massive question about the nature of truth itself. Seriously, just think about that for a second. What if you held in your hands the answer to every single cosmic question we've ever had? The ultimate truth, the whole shebang. And that's the real kicker, isn't it? That's the moment when this godlike knowledge crashes headfirst into our messy, complicated human reality. This is the story of a man who had to face that exact choice. So, our story kicks off with this guy, the legendary 11th century Persian thinker Omar Khayyam. We're talking about a master of math, astronomy, poetry, a certified genius. But for all his brilliance, he felt this deep, gnawing emptiness. You see, for Khayyam, it wasn't about just getting the right answers. His star charts were flawless, his mathematics were, elegant, but it all felt hollow, like a cold perfection. He felt like he was trapped in this beautiful cage of facts, and he was desperately searching for the soul behind it all, the poetry of creation he was so sure was hiding just out of reach. And then, boom, the universe answered back, but not how you'd expect. There was no vision, no voice from the heavens. Instead, it sent him a thing, an object that literally fell out of the sky and landed in the desert, a completely impossible artifact. And this thing, it wasn't just some weird rock. It was a total contradiction to everything he knew. It was smoother than anything that could be crafted by human hands, and it was completely inert. You couldn't scratch it, you couldn't test it, it didn't react to anything. It was just there, a perfect, silent puzzle, a glitch in the fabric of his orderly universe. And you know how it is. A mystery this big doesn't stay secret for long. Pretty soon, his big intellectual rival, this super influential theologian named Al-Ghazali, starts whispering, he's not seeing a scientific quest here. No, he's seeing dangerous pride. The rumors start to fly, that Khayyam was messing with forces man was never meant to touch. Okay, so here we go. This is the moment it all goes down. Khayyam's been staring at this thing for weeks, getting absolutely nowhere. And then, alone in his observatory, he has this wild idea, a total long shot and intellectual Hail Mary. The steps themselves sounded almost simple. He takes the sphere and puts it on his most prized instrument, the grand astrolabe. But instead of pointing it toward Mecca like you're supposed to, he aims it at this one particular star, Aldebaran, the eye of the bull, a little nod to his own complex charts. And then he just waits. For a while, nothing. Just dead silence. You can imagine the disappointment, right? But then, a faint vibration, a low hum that he felt more than heard, resonating deep in his bones. The sphere began to glow. It was waking up. And then, the whole room just explodes with light. But it wasn't normal light. He was looking at the swirling cosmic clouds of the Carina Nebula. He was literally witnessing the birthplace of stars, right there in his dusty old study. And in that one instant, it all clicked. This thing wasn't magic. It was a window to the true, vast, and frankly terrifyingly beautiful reality of the cosmos. The truth he'd spent his entire life chasing was finally right in front of him, and it was more incredible than he ever could have dreamed. But here's the thing about a truth that changes everything. Sharing it is never simple. Khayyam was so blinded by his own awe, he figured everyone else would see the divine wonder he saw. Oh boy, was he wrong. It all came down to perception. He sets up this big demonstration for the Sultan's court. He activates the sphere, and where he saw this beautiful cosmic order, they saw pure chaos, an endless, terrifying void. Where he saw divine truth, they saw blasphemy. This vision of countless galaxies didn't inspire wonder. It inspired primal fear. It made them feel tiny and meaningless. While this complete disaster was all the proof Al-Ghazali needed, he jumped on it, arguing that this was no gift from God. This was a demonic trick, a tool of Iblis, the devil, designed specifically to shatter faith by showing a universe so vast that both man and God seemed to vanish within it. The truth had officially become heresy. So this public failure just wrecks Khayyam. It forces him into this huge crisis. He finally had the truth he'd always wanted, but now he realized possessing it and sharing it were two very, very different things. He was no longer a seeker. He was the guardian of a dangerous secret. This is the question he had to answer. What do you do? What's the right move? To force a terrifying truth on a world that just can't handle it? Or do you protect that world with the comforting lie it can understand? And this is where he finally gets it. The true difference between knowledge and wisdom. He knew the truth of the cosmos, but he finally had the wisdom to see that his society, his world, lacked the maturity to handle it. The knowledge itself wasn't evil, but unleashing it was like handing a loaded weapon to a child. It was poison. So his final act isn't one of science, it's one of sacrifice. He manages to steal the sphere back before the court can destroy it. He journeys deep into the great, empty desert, and he buries it. He buries the single greatest discovery in human history beneath the salt, entombing the truth for a future age that might, just might, be ready for it. And the man who came back from the desert wasn't the same man who went in. All that intellectual arrogance was just gone. It was replaced by this profound humility. And that's when he began writing his famous poetry, the Rubaiyat, no longer trying to solve the universe, but just trying to capture the beauty and the sorrow of living inside its magnificent, terrifying mystery. And that brings us right back around to the big question. Khayyam's story isn't just a dusty old fable. It's a mirror for us, right now in our age of information overload. It forces us to ask ourselves, what do we do with the truths we uncover? And do we have the wisdom to know when some secrets are best left kept?